I spent 2 weeks testing 5 of the most talked about AI investing tools on the internet. Some of them genuinely surprised me, and a couple of them, honestly, were a complete waste of time. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I found, what each tool actually does, how it performs in the real world, and most importantly, whether it's worth your money. No sponsored opinions, no affiliate bias, just an honest breakdown so you can make a smarter decision with your money. Tool number 1, Magnifi. Magnifi bills itself as an AI-powered investment search engine. You type in plain English, something like, "Show me clean energy ETFs with low expense ratios," and it pulls up relevant investments, compares them side by side, and gives you a breakdown of performance, risk, and fees. What works well is the natural language interface. If you've ever felt overwhelmed opening a brokerage account and staring at thousands of ticker symbols with no idea where to start, Magnifi genuinely helps with that. It makes the research process feel less like you need a finance degree and more like a conversation. What doesn't work as well is the depth of analysis. The recommendations are solid for beginners, but experienced investors will find the insights fairly surface level. It tells you what to look at. It doesn't always tell you why it matters. Verdict on Magnifi: great starting point for beginners who want AI to simplify the research process. Free tier is worth exploring before committing to the paid plan. Tool number 2, Composer. Composer is where things get genuinely interesting. It lets you build automated trading strategies, called symphonies, using a visual, no-code interface. You define rules. If this condition is met, buy this. If the market drops by this percentage, rotate into that. The AI helps you construct and backtest these strategies against historical data before you risk a single dollar. The backtesting feature alone is worth the price of admission. Being able to see how a strategy would have performed over the last 5 or 10 years before you put real money in is something that used to require a Bloomberg terminal and a quant finance background. Composer makes it accessible to anyone. The learning curve is real, though. This is not a tool you open and figure out in 20 minutes. You'll need to spend time understanding the logic of how strategies are built. But if you're willing to put in that time, the payoff is a genuinely automated investing system that runs without you. Verdict on Composer: best tool on this list for people who want to build and automate their own investment strategies. Not for complete beginners. Worth it once you understand the basics. Tool number 3, Danelfin. Danelfin uses AI to score individual stocks on a scale of 1 to 10, analyzing over 900 features, including technical signals, fundamental data, and market sentiment. The higher the score, the more likely the AI predicts the stock will outperform the market in the next 3 months. What I like about Danelfin is the transparency. Most AI investing tools are a black box. They give you a recommendation without explaining the reasoning. Danelfin breaks down exactly which factors are driving the score and lets you dig into the data yourself. That kind of explainability builds actual trust. The limitation is that it's a signal, not a strategy. Danelfin tells you which stocks look promising. It doesn't tell you how much to buy, when to sell, or how to build a portfolio around those signals. You still need to make those decisions yourself. Verdict on Danelfin: excellent research tool for investors who are already comfortable analyzing stocks and want an AI layer to sharpen their decision-making. Not a standalone investing solution. Tool number 4, Autopilot by Public. Public is a brokerage platform that introduced an autopilot feature, AI-driven portfolio management that automatically rebalances your investments based on your goals and risk tolerance. You set your profile, connect your account, and the AI handles the rest. The appeal here is simplicity. If you want to invest but genuinely don't want to think about it, Autopilot is as close to set it and forget it as you can get. It's essentially a robo-advisor with a better interface and more transparency about what it's actually doing with your money. The downside is that the returns are not dramatically better than a simple index fund strategy. The AI adds value in rebalancing and risk management, but it's not going to beat the market. If your goal is just to grow wealth steadily over time, a low-cost index fund does roughly the same job for lower fees. Verdict on Autopilot: best for people who want completely hands-off investing and are comfortable with market average returns, not for people chasing alpha. Tool number 5, ChatGPT as an investing research assistant. I know this one sounds almost too simple, but hear me out, because after 2 weeks of testing dedicated AI investing platforms, the tool I found myself going back to most was ChatGPT. Not for trading signals, not for portfolio management, but for research, for understanding a company's earnings report in plain English, for comparing 2 ETFs, for explaining what a financial ratio actually means, for stress testing an investment thesis by asking it to argue the bear case. Used correctly, ChatGPT is like having a knowledgeable friend who has read every financial article ever written and will patiently explain anything to you without making you feel dumb. That's genuinely valuable, especially for investors who are still building their financial literacy. The critical caveat: do not use ChatGPT for specific buy or sell recommendations. It is not a licensed financial advisor, it doesn't have real-time market data, and it can confidently state things that are outdated or just wrong. Use it to understand, not to decide. Verdict on ChatGPT for investing: the most underrated tool on this list when used correctly. Free, always available, and endlessly patient. Just never let it make the final call. So here's the honest summary after 2 weeks of testing. If you're a complete beginner, start with Magnifi to understand your options and use ChatGPT to understand what you're looking at. That combination is free and genuinely powerful. If you want to automate your investing, Autopilot by Public is the most hands-off solution and the easiest to set up. If you're ready to go deeper and build real strategies, Composer is the most sophisticated tool on this list and has the highest ceiling for serious investors. And if you're an active stock picker who wants an AI edge, Danelfin gives you a data-driven signal layer that most retail investors don't have access to. None of these tools replace financial education. None of them guarantee returns. But used intelligently, they give you a real advantage that simply didn't exist 5 years ago. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe to Intelliwealth. Every video is designed to give you one more edge when it comes to AI and your money. Next video, I'm covering how to invest in AI without buying individual stocks. 3 smarter, lower-risk ways to get exposure to the biggest trend of our lifetime. That one is going to be worth your time. Drop a comment below. Which of these tools are you most interested in trying? I read every single one. See you in the next one.